Let's try the red one. Nice. Getting a little foggy, but I see it. Let's try a ram. Let's try this shoulder. See if my glasses don't fog up over there as badly. All right, I just killed my first game off my left shoulder. I'm impressed. Oh, it's empty. Okay. Let's try another round though. Oh, that's sunlight. Oh, nice. Sweet, sweet. Woo! Click. Ah, yes, sports fans. Kel-tec Sub 2000. Didn't know you'd ever see one here, did you? Let's make sure it's clear. See, it's clear. Okay. Yes, this is a strange bird. How's that for strange? Look down that barrel. I believe it's clear. Yes, when it's folded, it's safe. It pretty much has to be. You can even lock it up in the folded position. So you slip the little button there, locks in position, put a mag in, rack the bolt, it's ready to go again. So Hickok 45 bringing you the Kel-tec Sub 2000. Not exactly a new release, but one that I have been slightly interested in. But you can't find the crazy things. You can't find them. So I've had it on my radar a while because I have become more interested in pistol round carbines. They're just kind of fun. You've seen this with the CX4, the AR-15, and what else. But little guns that shoot the pistol caliber are just fun, if nothing else. They have a place, and they're less expensive to shoot. And one like this, if it works, is extremely handy. Talk about a little camp gun. It weighs 4 pounds. Talk about camp carbine, 4-pound gun that folds up, into a package like that. 16 inches, I think, in length, 16.5 inches, 4 pounds. You can just literally, you almost stick that in your cargo pocket. It's just an incredible little device. And again, when it's folded, it's safe. So you know it's safe. Because it can't fire when it's folded. It essentially can't, it just can't. So, let's take a look at the thing. What an interesting design. I'm not a huge Kel-tec fan, but they make certain models that are very interesting. And this being one of them. I've heard a lot of good things about it, to tell you the truth. It's not one of those that you really read very often, that it's a piece of crap or anything. Again, it's Kel-tec and it's polymer, and we can't criticize polymer. There's so many quality firearms that are polymer, but it's put together. You got screws, Phillips head screws, and look at that front sight. That's not exactly something you'd see on a Garand, is it? But but it seems to work. It really does. It generally gets good reviews. Anything you've read on it, it mostly is positive. It does have its limitations. Let me just give you a quick look at the thing. It's weird. No doubt about it. You want to take the thing out? Look at the bolt. Let's go ahead and take the bolt. Now you're supposed to cock it. Make sure it's cocked and hammer's back and the safety's on. All right, before you do this. And I've done it a few times here. Pull that pin across on the back here. You got a captured spring there. Pull that out. Bolt handle comes out. There you go. And look at this bolt, would you? Come on out of there, Mr. Bolt. Yeah, you have to pull it out again. Let's see. Go back in. I had it apart a few times. Let's see. I'm not forgetting anything. I've got it unsafe. Okay. And the hammer's cocked. All right. The pin may be. Oh, I see. The pin was coming back through a little bit. There we go. Okay. I hadn't had that issue before. I know what I did. I laid it down on the pin, I guess. So you got a two-piece bolt. It's a big, long, heavy bolt. So it's a blowback operation, which you don't have the drop link or anything where it disconnects, drops down the barrel and all that. It's fixed barrel, and it's strictly blowback. The cartridge has to send all this metal back, you know, and then pick up another round. So it's a simple design. Blowback operation is always a simple design when you can have that, and you know, it just seems to work. It's a pretty heavy bolt, and it you know, you get to everything to clean it pretty easily there, and you know, just get right on. You see right down the barrel. You can clean it from right through there if you want to, you know. But of course, the way it folds, it's easy to get to the barrel. Pretty nice access. Okay, and then when you put it back in, you want to make sure, of course, you got the extractor in the right place. You're upside down. That's going to be over on the right, and you just slide him in here. Make sure the pin's not in the way. And my hand's all filthy now. I want to think it really matters. Okay. Now, one thing that happens, you got to make sure this is lined up. Bullets always come in handy, don't they, for almost anything? There we go. As long as that's lined up and you do have it cocked, then I've been using this. You can use a dowel, you know, wooden dowel or something, and just kind of push it on down in there, because it kind of hangs on the back of the hammer, but not really hangs up. It just takes a little pressure to push it on in. Put the spring back in. Get him in the hole there. Okay. And it's a very interesting design. Leave it to Kel-tec. It's a very interesting design. Let's see what that's going to be like there. Come on now, I haven't had that trouble before. Where's the hole? Hang him up there. This thing, like I said, weighs 4 pounds. So that's a very light firearm. And I guess I better put the operating rod and handle in there. Let's get that in. Okay, didn't go forward with it. Like a little klutz here, but it really is not a big problem that I've noticed, to tell you the truth. I think I did that on the Scar once. I couldn't seem to get the operating rod in when I wanted to. Okay, Mr. Klutz Hickok. Now I see what we did. We came back on that hammer again. Go ahead and put that in. Now let's push it down. Okay. There, that was a mistake I made. I didn't put the operating rod handle in there when I should have. Okay. Put it back together. And shoot the thing some more. Okay. There we go. All right. So, he's ready to go. Blowback operation. Now you notice it locks. You lock the bolt back right there. There's a little groove there. You pull back and pull it over, and it's locked. And the bolt is back. Okay. You notice when you do bend it back, the sight folds up, you know, down in there, the rear sight, and you have to grab it, flip it up. Okay. Got your little kind of a peep sight, and then you see your front sight there. Now when I got this, it's used 40 caliber. The sight was really off. I mentioned this in a radio show that, you know, no telling how many guns get traded in or sold because people can't hit with them. I'm sure somebody couldn't hit with this one, because I moved that front sight over quite a bit. It was shooting about a foot to the right, you know, at the red plate. Literally a foot to the right and low. So somebody was really frustrated with it, I'm sure. So I messed with the sight and got her hitting pretty well. And I think I have it pretty much on, or at least very, very close. So let's take a couple more shots with it. It's a fun gun. Let me get a little perspiration on my face, and you can see that it's got a Zytel receiver, which is a kind of polymer. I guess, you know, it comes in all names, doesn't it? It's supposed to be pretty strong, and all the key components are metal. Obviously, your bolt, your barrel, your lockups, and everything. So it's not like it's going to fall apart just because you have a lot of polymer. It seems to be built pretty well, and by all reports, You know, it is, and I've had good experience with it so far. I've probably fired, I don't know how much it's been fired. It's a used gun. I fired, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 magazines through it. Enough to know I kind of like it. It's got some limitations, got some negatives we'll talk about. So let's take a couple more shots with it. This one is the Glock model. It comes in a, you have to get a different pistol grip if you want one that shoots Beretta mags or Smith & Wesson mags or SIG mags. This one is Glock, which worked out beautifully. You know, there it was. You don't see them very often, you know, anywhere. And here was one, whoa, it was in a gun shop, and it's a Glock version of all things. And I happen to have a few Glock magazines. So that worked out pretty well. Let's pick a few more shots. Go pig hunting. Let's put the safety off and then go pig hunting. And turkey hunting. That ram doesn't want to fall hardly ever, does it? Nice. I'm getting fogged up again. I'm going to switch over. I hit something. I'm going to have to work on that. That's kind of fun, switching over. Okay, let's see. So anyway, a sweet shooter. I've not had a malfunction with it either. And of course, that's one of the key factors with any semi-automatic carbine, pistol, rifle, whatever you want to talk about. Very, very interesting. Now, as I understand, there was a Kel-tec 9 or a Sub 9 that preceded this gun. Came out in the late 90s and 97 or so. I'm not really familiar with that. I've never owned one, never fired one. And then in 2000, when this came out, it cut the price in half basically, and it was a more innovative design in a lot of ways. And it is famous for this innovative design. Relatively inexpensive, half the price of the other one, the Sub 9, and it gets more high tech in a lot of ways. The fact that you can do that with it, and it, by all accounts, everybody I've read on this has had really good reliability with it and likes it for the most part. And of course, that's the only reason I really bought one. I've had a lot of requests for it to shoot it and everything. But then even more importantly, I like to like firearms. If I'm going to get one to review a little bit or shoot, especially if I'm going to buy it, I want it to be something I'm kind of interested in. And I do like guns like this that are very functional. It's ugly. It really is. But it's functional. There's a certain beauty in its ugliness because of that functionality. It really is, because it works. It seems to work okay. Again, talk about a camp carbine. Everybody's always looking for that perfect camp carbine or little gun. I mean, this has some application. That 40 caliber, you've got a 16-inch barrel. You're getting a much better velocity out of the 40 round, whatever you're shooting. And it's something a lot of people don't shoot handguns that much. And maybe it's a spouse or whoever it might be, you might leave this with someone for home defense or for yourself. And if you don't shoot a handgun really well, you don't feel confident with one yet. And you put something like this on your shoulder. Anytime you put something on your shoulder and get a good grip with it like this, you're going to hit fairly well. You're going to a whole lot better. Okay, it really minimizes the margin of error, and it feels good. And if it's reliable, plus these are 22 round magazines, even in the 40. So, in a 9, of course, you got your 30, 33 round magazines. But, it's just a handy little light gun that works. Now, we haven't had any malfunctions yet. We might start having them. Let's take a couple more shots. See if we can get a malfunction out of this thing. All right, Sub 2000. Interesting little gun. I'm going to try the tree again while I can see. The only problem I have with it now is just, you wouldn't believe how humid it is right now. And hot, but mostly humid. I'm gonna try that watermelon. I'll tell you what, we have a magazine of some more Starfire. We happen to have a quantity of the Starfire, so that's what we've been using. Not that that's the best hollow point that ever came along or anything, but we just happen to have some, and so I'm gonna shoot them into that watermelon. And I don't know, you know what? It didn't like that one, the way I worked it in there. Let's try that. Just lock that back. Try that again. Okay. All right. Let's try that watermelon with these. Now, a hollow point, 40 caliber is not traveling at 2,000 feet per second or anything. So the fact that it's hollow point is almost irrelevant. So as much as anything, I'm really just showing that, or determining whether it will feed them. And I have fired some, it did okay. So let's just make sure. That worked okay on that. Let's go up here and get we have a couple more magazines loaded. You always want to make sure it's going to feed whatever it is you're going to carry in it, of course. That's job one, whatever you have for defensive purposes. If you're going to carry Starfire or you're going to carry gold dots or whatever it is, you want to. Now, I've got some more hollow points, but these are just some things. I've been having some trouble finding 40. Hunting target match, BVAC, I ordered from somewhere, 180 grain, jacket hollow point, just kind of looking for ammo. The fact that it's a hollow point is kind of irrelevant. I don't think it's exactly a premium hollow point. So let me get my glasses clean. It's interesting. I did discover that firearm is one that I can kind of put on my other shoulder because it's so light, and shoot it from my left shoulder. It'd be a good one to train with because I want to get to where I can do that better. So the sight's not a problem for me to see it up here. But let me talk about the sights. Speaking of sights, wow. The negatives. One of the negatives you'll find with this firearm is that you really have a little trouble getting your face down. At least John and I do. Some people don't. Down on that stock and onto the sight. Now, I've gotten to where it's not as bad. When I first picked it up, I don't know, that's almost a deal killer. And when I had looked at these at other places, gun shows, if I ran into one in Somerset, Kentucky, you just don't run into them very often. And I picked it up, whoa, I don't know if I can get my chin on that enough. But I've kind of gotten used to that. Okay, John hasn't yet. He may have a bigger cheekbone or something, and you might. So you want to shoulder one before you order one, right? So that's one of the negatives. They make a cover you can put on that so it doesn't hurt you, but I haven't really been hurt by it. The rear sight's a little low. If the rear sight were just a little higher, it would take care of that. It really would. It needs to be about a ½ inch higher, I think. And then another negative is the front sight. Oh man, strange. I had read that it was, and there's replacement parts for these. You can buy aftermarket companies make some things for it. You loosen this side over here, the big orange screw, and then you adjust it over here, either move the sight that way or push it the other way, and it also loosens it so you can raise it or lower it. Really strange. And when I discovered it was shooting a foot to the right and low, I thought, okay, I've heard how hard it is to adjust, so all right, I have no choice. I got the screwdriver out, I messed with it, it really wasn't that hard. I don't like to adjust sights on some firearms, and if I read enough that it's a problem, as I did with this gun, I was not looking forward to it. But it really went pretty well. I had a few screws, took a few shots, screwed a little bit more, moved it, and seemed to be hitting pretty well on. Okay, so on the red plate over there now, I was having to hold over it about a foot. I'm holding almost under it, definitely a 6 o'clock hold, and it seems to put them right on it if I can hold it there. So the sight seems okay now, but it's weird. It really is. But it's a high-vis type of sight, on a gun like this, what do you expect? Okay, so those are the biggest negatives, getting down on the stock, and then the sights are kind of weird. But I don't know, I've kind of gotten to where I'm doing okay with it, and it's growing on me. It really is. And I like the fact this is in a 40. If there'd been 2 there, I might have chosen a 9 because I got a lot of 9 mags. But in a 40, you got a little more punch here, and it's kind of an interesting firearm. Yes. glasses are fogging up on me. Let me get my ears on. There's something weird about this too that John and I noticed. It's not all that loud. It doesn't hurt your ears. Not sure why, but I'm trying to shoot it out using the sights. Let me try that again. Fun. Let's shoot one more mag. You notice we're shooting a variety of ammo, and none of this, I mean, this is PMC, not exactly the highest quality ammo, and we're shooting this is essentially, I think, a reload, you might consider, this BVAC, and then Starfire, and it seems to do okay. All right, let me wipe my glasses off one more time. I don't want to waste my ammo. It's just more fun. Let's see if there's anything I forgot to tell you about that I know. Maybe the length and the weight, and of course now this one will use a Glock 22 magazine or a Glock 23 or Glock 22 magazine or these 22 rounders. It will not use a Glock 23 magazine. I tested that, which is too bad in some ways. I have a lot of Glock 23 mags. It's just a little too short. So you need a Glock 22, which is a 15 round magazine, or these 22 Glock magazines that are available. Okay, which you'd want anyway, you know, if you could find them. All right, that's a little better. Okay, where do I hold there? There we go. Okay, I was holding too low on the plates. You notice it swings them pretty well. Really knocks them. Again, you've got that longer barrel. Okay, let's take a few more and wrap up. It's quick to acquire the sight. Alright, I know what it was. I was about 6 feet closer, so it knocked him over, didn't it? Alright, I think that was the last round. Yeah, got the red plate on the last round. Okay, anyway, my impression of this thing is it's a fun little gun, and it's reliable, and you know, whatever other deficiencies it has, I can live with, because it really wasn't all that expensive, and it seems to work. Shoots a 40, you can get it in 9 if you can find one. Nifty little gun. I mean, it really is. It's a keeper. I'm glad that, ouch, hot barrel for some reason, that y'all have been asking me to get my hands on one, because that is pretty cool. I like it, and I'm going to keep it. Life is good.